Hello everyone, this is the second chapter of the Excelise tutorials section 5. In this section, I will show you how to create sparklines, set the header and footer in the Excel document, how to hide the worksheet, and how to protect the worksheet, and etc. I will show you how to generate a coffee sales statistics spreadsheet. You will learn 11 Excelise functions by this example. At first, set the default font for the workbook and create sparklines in the worksheet. Sparklines allow you to add small charts to the worksheet cells. This is useful for showing visual trends in the data in a compact format. This table lists the supported properties of the sparklines. Create a directory named 2.file in the tutorial directory and put the prepared workbook which contains source data in this directory. Open the source data workbook. And let's take a look. There are 4 worksheets in the workbook. They are the annual sales of each can of coffee. Open the project in the Visual Studio Code editor and create a source code with the Go extension named main.go. Import the format library and the Excelise library. Create the main function and open the data.xlsx by the openFile function provided by Excelise, receiving and checking the error. Close the workbook before the main function returned by default. Call the save as function implemented by F to save as a new workbook named book1.xlsx. Run go mode init command, create a new module rooted in the current directory, and run go mode tidy to add any missing module requirements necessary to build the current modules, packages, and dependencies. Set the default font to Arial. Save the code and run the program. Open the generated workbook. The default font of the workbook has been changed. Next, I will add sparklines for each can of coffee sales. Define 2 variables, sheet 1 name and sheet 2 name, for first 2 worksheets named East and West. Declare 3 slides in string date type for the parameter of the sparklines. Prepare the sparkline sales reference and the source data range of each sparkline. Location represents the sparkline sales reference. Prepare the left upper cell's coordinates of the source data range by the joinCellName function, and prepare the right bottom cell coordinates of the source data range at the end. Then prepare the cell reference to create the sparklines. Get the source data range of the sparklines by worksheet name, start cell coordinates and the end cell coordinates. After that, create the sparklines by the addSparkline function provided by Excelise. The first parameter of this function is the worksheet name. The second parameter is the properties of the sparklines. Use the variable I just created for it. The marks field is used for specifying if show the marker of the sparklines, receiving and checking the error. Then add the sparklines on the second worksheet. Specify the parameters, location, and range. Turn on the marker of the sparklines, receiving and checking the error. Save the code and run the program. Open the generated workbook. The sparklines has been created in the 2 worksheets. If I need to change the type of the sparklines, specify the type of the sparklines by type file. Save the code and run the program. Reopen the workbook. It has been changed the line sparklines to the column sparklines. I can also specify the theme of the sparklines by style properties. For example, set the style ID to 18. Save the code and run the program. Open the generated workbook. The theme color of the sparklines has been changed. Next, I will show you how to convert a number to a column name. Set the column and the rows outline level. Set the column outline level for the columns in the B to G on the first worksheet, and prepare the column name for each column in the for loop. Call the column name to number function in the for loop to convert the number in the integer data tab to the column name. Next, set the column outline level by the setColumnOutlineLevel function provided by Excelise with the worksheet name, column name, and the outline level, receiving and checking the error, saving the code, and running the program. Open the generated workbook. The columns of the first half of annual sales has been folded. Then set the outline level for the rows 7 to 9. Call the setRowOutlineLevel function in the for loop to set the rows outline level, receiving and checking the error. Save the code and run the program, and open the workbook. The rows outline level has been created. Next, I will show you how to set the header and footer of the worksheet. Insert the page break and protect the worksheet. Set the header and footer for the second worksheet by the setHeaderFooter function. The first parameter of this function is the worksheet name. The second parameter is the properties of the header and footer. Alt header represents the control characters of the alt header. Set the value coffee sales statistics in date. Alt footer represents the control characters of the alt footer. Set the date time in it. And C represents the center section. And T represents the current time. Even header and even footer represents the header and footer control characters of the even page. Set the value same with the alt page for them, receiving and checking the error. Save the code and run the program. Open the generated workbook and open the second worksheet. The header and footer has been added to the worksheet. If I want to change the style of the text in the header, I can specify the style with the control characters and set the font of the text in the header in Times New Roman, bold, italic, and set the underline by control characters and U. Set the brown color for the text coffee by control characters and K, and make the other text in the black color. Saving the code and running the program. Open the workbook in Excel. The text style in the header has been updated. Next, I will insert a page break in the third cells worksheet. Declare a variable for the third worksheet name, and insert the page break at the E1 cell by the insertPageBreak function. Receiving and checking the error. Save the code and run the program. Open the generated workbook and open the source worksheet. You can see the page break in the page break view mode. If I want to break the page in the column G, change the page break cell to G1. Save the code and run the program. Reopen the workbook. The page break has been changed. Next, protect the first worksheet with the protectSheet function provided by Excelise. The first parameter of this function is the worksheet name. The second parameter is the protection properties. Set the password as the PASSWORD. Specify the value of the edit scenarios filed as false for allow edit scenarios. Receiving and checking the error. Save the code and run the program. Open the generated workbook. If I change the sales value on the first worksheet, I will receive a notification that the sheet is protected. Next, I will show you how to group or ungroup the worksheet and set the worksheet visible. Group the East and sales worksheets by the groupSheets function, receiving and checking the error. Save the code and run the program. Open the generated workbook. The worksheets has been grouped. If I want to ungroup these worksheets, use the ungroup worksheets function to ungroup worksheets. Save the code and run the program. Open the workbook in Excel. The worksheets group has been removed, and then set the worksheet visible by the setSheetVisible function. The first parameter of this function is the worksheet name. I use the false null worksheet here. The second parameter used to specify the visibility of the worksheet. Specify the value for it as false to hide the worksheet. Save the code and run the program. Reopen the workbook in Excel. The last worksheet has been hidden. Okay, this is it for this video. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions, please comment below. And welcome to subscribe and ring the bell so you can get notified anytime we release new content. Thanks for watching and thanks for your choosing Excelise.